I'm Martyn. I'm chair of the Ethics, Inclusion and Equalities Committee. Just come out of our meeting, which was, as ever, rich and very interesting, inspiring and slightly concerning as aspects of challenges that school leaders are facing in schools and colleges were part of our agenda. We started with a really interesting presentation from two colleagues from the Children's Society, looking at the importance and the benefits of measuring pupil well-being and student well-being. And we consider that carefully in terms of what the purpose would be and how we can respond to the needs that are addressed. It was also very interesting to consider trends that are emerging post-pandemic in terms of young people's well-being, and also trends over a long period of time that really raise concerns about how well-being can be measured, how it can be supported, and how it's a societal responsibility to ensure the best well-being we can for our young people, in which schools play a really important part and need support from families, need support from leadership and society at large, as well as health and other aspects. So that was a really interesting discussion. We looked at the perils of using well-being as a measure in accountability, and we mustn't lose sight of the true purpose of supporting our young people in any kind of measure that's done. We looked at, as well, SEND funding and the concerns around SEND funding. Our headline from that is that following the recent review from the government, we don't feel that we're in a position as schools and colleges to action an improvement plan because we can't currently meet need. And funding becomes crucial to that, and that's something we're working on with our colleagues in the funding committee as well. We looked at the challenges that there are in special and alternative provision and how challenging the context is there increasingly over time, with funding not being changed since 2013 in terms of place funding. Real concerns about safety, real concerns about more complex needs presenting themselves, and also rising costs that are not being met by funding that's coming into those areas. And it's an area that we mustn't forget and work alongside in terms of raising the concerns that are there. We considered ethical leadership and ASCL's leadership within that and work within that with other organisations, and continue to prioritise that in really challenging times for leaders across the piece. But the importance of supporting and developing ethical leadership across our schools and colleges was vital there. And finally, we were updated on the mandatory reporting of child sexual abuse and some of the thinking around there, and able to raise concerns and thinking with some of our legal team at ASCL about the implications within schools, and particularly for DSLs. And we're concerned about the increasing burden that some in national policy are looking to increase for our designated safeguarding leads, the need for support, the need for training, the need for collective responsibility across the piece. So a range of very meaty issues considered, and ongoing work that we'll need to do as a result of that, but a really productive meeting.